my friends. Tonight, I want to take you back to one of the darkest days in modern history. A day that changed the world forever. September 11, 2001. On that morning, as chaos and fear swallowed New York City, thousands were running away from the danger. But one man kept running toward it. His name was Officer Chris Amoroso. A 29-year-old police officer with the New York and NJ Port Authority. A husband. A new father with a baby waiting at home. And yet, in those final hours of his life, he became a symbol of courage that words can barely capture. When the plane struck the Twin Towers, Chris didn't hesitate. Like so many first responders that day, he rushed into the heart of destruction. Smoke filled the air, glass shattered on the ground, and people poured out of the buildings, terrified, bleeding, some too shocked to move. But Chris didn't stop. He made trip after trip, pulling people out of the rubble, guiding them to safety. On his fourth rescue trip, something extraordinary happened. He spotted a pregnant woman struggling, her face pale with exhaustion, her legs barely holding her up. Without a second thought, Chris wrapped his arm around her, shielding her from falling debris, and carried her toward safety. Imagine that moment. Amid collapsing steel and deafening screams. A young officer, only 29, cradling a mother and her unborn child in his arms. That was Chris Amoroso. Most people would have stopped there. Most people would have said, "I've done enough. I've saved lives. I need to go home to my family." But Chris wasn't most people. He turned back. Not once. Not twice. But for the fifth time. Eyewitnesses remember seeing him, sweat dripping, uniform torn, dust covering his body. Still determined. Still running back into the very building everyone else was desperate to escape. That was the last time anyone saw Officer Chris Amoroso alive. He never made it out again. Chris left behind his wife and his little daughter. A baby girl who would grow up only knowing her father's true stories, photos, and the heroic legacy he left behind. Think about that for a moment. In the face of unimaginable terror, Chris chose others over himself. He could have stayed with the woman he saved. He could have gone home to his wife and child. But his duty, his humanity, his love for strangers. It was stronger than fear. And though his life was cut short, his actions on that day continue to echo through history. Every year, when the world pauses to remember 9/11, the image of Officer Chris Amoroso stands as a reminder that even in the darkest hour, light can shine. That even in a world full of fear, there are people willing to give everything for someone they don't even know. Chris was only 29 years old. But in those final moments, he lived the life of 1,000 men. And his story is not just about tragedy. It's about sacrifice. About love. About what it truly means to be human. So the next time you wonder if one person can really make a difference, remember Officer Chris Amoroso. Remember the man who saved lives and gave his own. Because heroes aren't just in movies. Sometimes, they walk among us. Thank you for watching. Do share the love. Please subscribe to our channel.